And we are recording.
I'm
Mr. Mel.
ready.
And for the record, today, here in Hoboken, New Jersey, where I'm recording from, there is an Italian festival going on.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, right. On the main street 2 blocks over, which means like all the traffic from the main street is instead going on my block, including buses and shit. So if you hear the sounds of murderous New Jerseyans, it's okay. It's just the streets because I'm from the streets,
Those
So,
Italians, they're
like
loud.
if you hear a lot
They
of
party hard.
that's right, and they stab you harder. They go, "Hey, I'm walking here." If you hear a lot of that, you know. So,
My job has a lot of styles that they name after like Yiddish terms, and one of the styles people say Telena, but I think it's pronounced Telena, and that's like a derogatory term for an Italian person in Yiddish.
really?
Yeah, I'm always
How
like,
the heck?
oh, that might not be a nice word to say. But that's fun. I didn't get the invite. I love Italian food.
Well, I'm not going to the fucking festival. I'm sitting here with you. So
You know what I think is funny about Italian people? So
no,
I
the
have a
views of CMO are not the views of the FratChat Podcast or me. So go
so
on.
I have some amazing colleagues in Switzerland, in Italy, and whenever I travel and we're together, they will spend a disproportionate amount of time researching the best wine for the table. Now they'll all get different things. So some of them it's a lot of compromise. It's like, well, that wine will go well, will be paired well with your food, but maybe not my food, and maybe we can find an alternative. But they like to me, it's like there's two wines, there's red and white. You know, maybe dry, maybe sweet, I don't know. But I'm not very well versed in wine, but they're such like um wine experts, and it's a very big part of the conversation where I'm like, I'll do a shot and a beer. I'm okay, I don't care. Pick the shot, pick the beer. Just give me two. I had a
Yeah.
long day.
Wine connoisseurs, aka gay. Anyways, we're gonna do this in three, two, one.
What are you doing?
Testes in my mouth.
Get on the ground, you fucking pledge!
Ew.
Welcome to the greatest podcast experience of your life. This is the FratChat Podcast.
All young men like three things: food, news, pussy.
Featuring Carlos Garcia and Chris Moore.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the greatest podcast in the history of podcasting time. It's the FratChat Podcast. I'm Carlos Garcia with Chris, Mr. Pump Moore. How's it going, Mr. Mo?
Oh, I'm good. Thanks. I just this is the gym. I'm really sweaty. Sorry, guys. I just need to get a good pump in.
What were those things? Did you just hold up a broomstick? Is that?
Oh yeah, this room's just knocked you in the fucking jaw.
Because those are fine and all, but when you have these, brother. Just kidding.
I'm doing a good job. My trainer told me that I have a lot of drive.
You do, especially for someone who is 53 years old. It's very impressive. So I'm proud of you. I do see the motivation. It's great.
I don't work out because I want to. I work out because my doctor says it would elongate my life span at this point.
They say that, but Hulk Hogan, who was Mr. Fitness, died at 71 years old. Just very recently.
Well,
Ozzy Osbourne, right before, was 76 years old and spent a life of fucking drugs and cocaine and rock and roll, baby. Not a fucking muscle on that body.
Hulk Hogan did a lot of cocaine back in the day. So
Yeah,
he
and steroids.
So I'm not surprised.
Steroids, brother.
What
you gonna do, brother?
Trauma. Well, happy belated birthday to your fiance, who is so lovely. Who?
Yeah, I'm still the thing with her, and no, obviously I love her to death. I
But
did fuck that bitch. But her birthday is like fucking Hanukkah in the sense that like it's like 17 nights. So we had people over on Friday, and then yesterday was like her actual birthday. So we did the thing, and then today we're going out with her parents. So it's literally 3 fucking days of celebrations, and I'm goddamn hurting. I'm tired. I'm like very tired. After the first one, I was hungover. Yesterday we went out feasting, and I'm just exhausted by day 3. And I'm getting too old for this shit. So I told her, you need to condense this shit to 2 birthdays or less moving forward. 3 is too many. I do 1. That's it. We're done. That day's. And our anniversary is the day before my birthday. So the day before my birthday is all about, doing stuff nice for her too. So it evens out. This 3-day thing. What do you think? Is 3 days too many?
I think it is not practical if you guys end up having children.
Oh
So
yeah.
so once there's little kiddos in the mix, then they get the grandiose celebrations, and you guys get put onto the like back burner.
Totally. Totally. I concur. I concur. So fuck you, Julie. Just kidding. I love you. But it is time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, to hear from you guys. Let's see what you got to say. And I actually found an email from the listener that I've been sitting on for a while because
Because it
it
felt
hit
good.
so close to home. Yes, that's right. I was sitting on it and spinning around,
I'm like, get off of that. It's an email from the listener. No, it's not. It's a sprinkler. Get it out of your butthole. You
So it takes
nasty
me so
fuck.
long. So it takes me so long to say at any point. I'm just thinking. I'm not thinking it's my O face. But anyways, this one hit so close to home because they really reminded me of Julie. No, she's nowhere near as bad as this next situation from Steven from New Jersey, but they are in New Jersey. And no, Steven from New Jersey, you have to let us know if it's Steven or Stefan.
Steven.
But it's PH, which
It's
could
always
totally be
pronounced Steven. Like Stephen
there's
Colbert.
no. Yeah, but even Colbert is not his real. It's Colbert, and he does Colbert for some reason.
Maybe it's French.
Yeah, like that's what he was like doing originally with his character. He's like, it's his like French identical twin alter ego brother or something like that, who's a staunch Republican. That's the Colbert, and then he really would have been Stephen Colbert. He kept obviously Colbert was famous, so he kept that.
Colbert sounds like a toothpaste to me.
That's right. It kind of does. It sounds. Yeah, try Colbert. If do you have awful teeth? Are you British? Let's try Colbert today. Good times. But yeah, Steven/Stefan.
Steven, you're long-winded, so good luck with this, Carlos.
Yes. So he goes, "Hey, FratChat, I need to know if I'm the crazy one here," which is always
Probably. If you have to ask, I mean.
That's right. He goes, my roommate treats his birthday like it's the Met Gala, meets Coachella, meets his own funeral. Not in a sad way, just in the sense that he expects full morning level attendance if you miss any of the week-long events. Wait, so yes, week-long birthday. So he says, just in the sense that he expects full level morning and level of attendance if you miss any of the week-long events. There we go. I get it now. Sorry, you're right. Kind of funny, Steven. Yes, week-long birthday. We're talking 7 days of mandatory themed dinners, Instagram countdowns, a pre-party brunch for the pre-party, and then a post-birthday decompression wine night because it's just a lot this year emotionally. And God forbid you miss one of these. It's like, holy shit. I skipped the Tuesday trivia night all about me, and he didn't speak to me for 3 days, except to passive aggressively ask if I was doing okay, like I was the one unraveling. And here's the kicker. He literally broke up with his last 2 girlfriends because he didn't think. Whoa, that was
What was
weird.
that?
Something just fell. This is like from a candle. But this is weird because this was on this table and it landed back there. So I don't know how that happened. That is very creepy.
A ghost?
Yeah, maybe it's the ghost.
Well, someone did die in your apartment.
They did. Very true.
They're fed up with this birthday discussion. That's what happened.
They're like, fuck, shut up about Steven.
Yeah.
Well, he goes, here's the kicker. He literally broke up with his last 2 girlfriends because he didn't think they met his birthday standards. I'm sorry. What the hell does that even mean? Is there a rubric, a candle count minimum? Do I need to submit a PowerPoint? Now, the whole apartment is on eggshells because someone forgot to post a tribute on their Instagram story by noon today, and he's been sighing audibly ever since. I just want to know, is this normal 20-something behavior, or am I living with a very stylish dictator? Help, Steven from New Jersey.
Well, you're definitely living with an only child.
Yeah, this is fucking
That's
weird.
only child behavior, like, to a T.
So they're like, just looking at his phone. I think like that Pablo Escobar meme that was like popular, where it was like him sitting on like the little park bench and then him like standing around.
Yeah.
But just Steven's friend just waiting for his little birthday wishes. Yeah, no, that's too many. 7 days, like that makes Julie look very practical with her 3 days.
But here's the thing about Julie. Julie reciprocates it. So like when it's her friends' birthdays, she goes all out for them too. So it has to go both ways, and she's a very generous person. So like I don't like I give her like lots of leeway because she's a nice person. Now this guy, Steven's roommate, I don't know. Like if he is giving equal amount of energy to his friends' birthday celebrations, then I think that I would give him leeway. But I'm getting a sense from, I mean, there's always 2 sides to every story, but I'm getting a sense that maybe he's a little self-involved, a little narcissistic. And I'm not so sure if he reciprocates in like an equal way.
No, I concur. Sounds sketchy. And again, 7 fucking days is too much for anybody to expect anybody to devote to them every single year. Now, let's say it's your wedding week, something like that, and you have like a little something. You can have whatever. That's kind of really the only excuse that I can think about. Or 1 year, it's like your 40th birthday, and you fucking like got divorced or something, when survived a shark attack or some shit. We can celebrate you for a week that year, but that's it. The next year, we're back to 1 fucking day, baby. And you might not even get a gift next year for going all out the year before. Like, you got to expect to lower those expectations. You know what I mean? So, 7 days is absurd to expect that shit every year. Like, what did you do? Did you cure fucking cancer, dude? No. Unless if you did, then shit on my chest and call me stupid. That sounds good.
But I also think that it's nice to let your friends have a chance to celebrate you without you like dictating the festivities.
Exactly. Like, I just think it's lame. Like, for example, if you walk into a surprise party, like, that's awesome. That's like one of the most cool when people plan a surprise party for you. I had one planned for me once, and it was like I was genuinely surprised, and it was so fun. And it's like, yeah, look, people did this for me. But if you're planning your own goddamn surprise party, that's very loserish, and people do that shit. Or people who plan, like I've been seeing this in the lady department a lot, planning their own engagements and then acting like they're all surprised and shit. It's like, bitch, you went with him ring shopping and you told him the month to propose, and you down to the fucking week, and you went and got your hair done and your nails and shit. And now you're sitting in the fucking picture like, no idea. Shut up, bitch. You planned this shit.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
I tend
if you have to plan your own birthday like that and be like a fucking dictator, that's very like, to me, that's very like desperate.
Yeah, well, I think that like me personally, if I'm gonna have a dinner every night of the week or whatever for my birthday, I would just be thankful that people showed up, but to hold them accountable for not dressing according to the theme, I think is a bit much. And like I tend to play devil's advocate in these scenarios, but in this one in particular, where Stephen mentioned trivia night, all about me, I'm assuming that his roommate catered or created his own trivia night with Snapple facts all about his life, and that's weird. That's weird
Yeah.
behavior.
Yeah. Like if that's so weird. I'm not gonna lie. Like people here on the show know that the first time I met CMO, he showed me his very, very naked modeling pictures. And I was like, oh wow. But at least modeling is is an impressive thing to do, you know? So it's
Well, to
like
be
sure,
fair, there's no giblets. There's no
that's right.
peen.
It was more side booty.
Yeah.
But at least it's like, oh, no, cool. He's like a model. This is clearly like an accomplished thing. Like, great, right? If he showed me a fucking trivia game that he made all about himself, we wouldn't be friends. We just would not. I'd be like, what the fuck? What a loser.
But you know what? In my defense, I'm going to say something. There's a point to this. I know people in high school who are so beautiful, and it kind of like warped their personality in a negative way because they're so used to getting everything they wanted, and now they're not beautiful anymore, but they still carry this stank ass attitude because they're so used to like getting whatever they want because they grew up beautiful. I grew up such a fucking dud. I was such a loser. I had braces for 8 years, 4 years, and I had jaw surgery in another 4 years. Like it was like I looked a mess. But for me, getting signed to an agency in my early 20s, I was 21. It was such a sense of accomplishment, not just because modeling for some is perceived as an interesting career, but it was just validation for me that I wasn't like a busted bitch anymore. So I was just so excited to have like even just an ounce of attention from this agency because I was definitely like lowest on the totem pole all through grade school. I mean, I looked like a total freakazoid.
Oh, and that's just what his family members said about him.
Yeah.
You should hear that.
Yeah.
What the high schooler said.
You know what my mom used to give me for like stocking stuffers? Crest whitening strips and like I've had skin cancer and she still gave me a tanning salon gift certificate every year. I'm like,
To
maybe
be fair, whitening strips are pretty damn handy. I would use those all the time. They were great, but they were so weird though. You fucking sitting there like sticking the thing on.
Let me ask you a question. Has your mom ever given you like a lifetime supply of Proactive for Christmas?
No, but she gave me like 6 months of Slim Fast. So,
Did she?
the powder.
Nothing
This
cuts deeper
this
than
was
when your mom.
backwards, so, you have no excuse but to start your diet. I was like, oh, thanks. I didn't know you thought I was fat.
Oh wow, Santa brought you some Slim Fast and it's strawberry flavored. You love strawberries, right? Yum. Oh, look
I
at
hate
that.
strawberries. Oh, yeah. No, fucking. So luckily my skin was good, but that was just about it.
You know what? When I was in middle school, I was so skinny. And am I echoing to you?
No,
No? Okay, good.
I think it's just your headphones.
Do what? Do what?
Maybe it's just your headphones.
Oh, sometimes I feel like there's feedback sometimes. Like I hear
Maybe
it
it's
now.
just the voices.
Maybe if I
The voices
twist
in
this
your
a
head.
little bit, I just do a little bit of this action. Okay, so I was so skinny, and I also had a raging eating disorder. So I was like beyond skinny, and my mom would buy me underwear. Moms buy their kids clothes all the time, underwear, socks,
Totally.
whatever. But
Totally.
I would get like Fruit of the Loom, like cartoon themed underpants. So it'd be
It's like,
like,
Mom, I'm 26. Like,
yeah,
what the fuck?
pretty much. I'd be in the locker room, like changing, with a towel wrapped around me, hoping that no one could see. And they always give you small towels in the locker room, Always just like they're like half the size of a towel. And I'm like, I really hope no one can see the Looney Tune characters on my butt. I'd be so embarrassed, but that's all I could fit. Like even like if my mom bought me boxer size small, like Joe Boxer, it was too big for me. I was so tiny. So I was always wearing like kiddo like underpants.
That's just sad.
I know. So horrible. Anyway, any more thoughts about Steven from Steven's roommate?
No, I think Steven, you're not crazy. Your roommate's
Yeah.
kind of a psycho. Definitely kind of a psychopath.
But
He's very self-involved. So.
But I also think that like you as a friend, because he's your roommate, is he a good friend too, or you just suckered him because he's your roommate? You know what I mean? But,
exactly.
But I think that but we as friends have a responsibility to give our good friends tough love. Now, if you just have to keep the peace because you're roommates, I get it. But if this really is a good friend for a long time, I do think at some point you should be like, hey, let's chat about this.
Totally. And
People
maybe
are
have
talking.
like a little intervention if I'm sure other people feel the same way. And if it's not just coming from you, they're more likely to listen. So maybe you grab like 2 friends and make it the 3 of you. Like, hey, dude, maybe don't do 7 days anymore. Can we try like 3? And then we'll go lower. And maybe not make everything mandatory. Like if you come into 1 out of the 3, you're good. If you come into 2 out of the 3, you're even better. And 3 out of the 3, you're the greatest goddamn friend in the history of Earth, and you should be very thankful. But people are busy.
Yeah.
So I think that's about
I think
it.
3 days is a nice compromise. That's
Yeah,
still a lot. That's a long weekend. Okay,
Yeah.
so my email is surprise, surprise, short because that's how I like them. So thank you, Julian from Omaha. Where is Omaha? Ohio? Omaha, Ohio. That sounds right.
What?
Where's it from? Where is Omaha?
It's in fucking Nebraska, dude.
Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah.
I don't even know where Nebraska is on the map. It sounds cold. It's probably north. Nebraska.
It can be. It's like farming.
It's farming. Oh, maybe it's not north because you can't have farming if it's cold, right? I don't know.
Well, there's farming seasons and then off seasons, but the thing is, global warming's been affecting all of that because then you don't know when to farm and things start changing. But anyways, that's the whole thing for another day.
Well, Julian, do you live on a farm? And if so, did the big beautiful bill take away your family's health insurance? I heard farmers were really affected by this.
Yeah,
it's sad. Maybe you shouldn't have voted for him. Okay. Julian, you wrote, "Hey, frat chat bros."
I was delayed.
Hey, you liberal twats. I'm just kidding. Hey, frat chat bros. Just out of curiosity, what's your type? We all know what you don't like, but what do you like in a potential mate? Julian from Omaha, Nebraska. Julian, I think this is a good question because we do vent about things that drive us nuts. Like one of my personal grievances is like single ply toilet paper. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And what, like I don't know if you're referring to personality wise or like physicality. Like I've said it on the show before, if I went to like a Build-A-Bear for boyfriends, I could build my own boyfriend Build-A-Bear. He would look exactly like Lenny Kravitz, and when they asked me what color eyes, I would ask for sequins just to be different. But I think I would want to stretch him out a little bit to be a little bit taller. I feel like I'm being shallow right now, but I'm focused on the physicality first. I like tall, so nothing shorter than like 5'8" and below. Sorry, not gonna work. It's gotta be 5'9" and above, preferably above. I'm not physically attracted to people that look like me because I feel like it's narcissistic.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. Nothing makes my stomach curdle more.
Every time I see CMO, I'm like, ugh. I just shut off his screen and look at myself.
I think that whomever whomever I end up with has to be out of the closet.
Yeah.
Like in their
Especially at this
family,
point.
publicly, they
You
have
don't
to be
have
out of the
time to
closet.
dick around, you know. In your 20s, it's fine to play that shit, but now, oof, you never know. Each day, you're closer and closer to the end of the road.
You know, I also they have to be an animal lover. They have to be nice to like people in like the service industry.
Yes,
Eat-
clarify animal lover in the sense of like it's good to pets, has a dog, not like an animal fucker. Because
No, I don't want you putting gerbils in your booty hole.
that's right. There's a very famous South Park, the chicken lover episode. So
They don't
just
they
you
don't
sick.
belong in the butthole. Microwave maybe. Blender
Well,
fair.
how else are you gonna eat
Butthole
them?
no. I think also I feel like this is shallow again, but I don't necessarily need someone to be ripped per se. I can get down with the dad bod. I just need to see an effort. You know what I mean? Because as we get older, like our body changes, and if we don't keep up with it, then like we're not going to survive. So like they don't have to be like a gladiator, but just like go to the gym sometimes. Just try. You know what I mean?
I agree. I agree. You definitely at this point, because here's the thing. Sorry, I have to get my thoughts together. You have to like when you're like in high school and shit, you can fucking eat whatever you want. It's the same thing in college, pretty much. And you work out a couple times a week, you can be ripped. But at this point, once you start getting closer to 40s and stuff and beyond, especially if you're dating in that age group, if someone's in too good of a shape and they're like in their mid 40s, late 40s, I'm questioning how the fuck they're getting there. You know what I mean? Because eventually testosterone will start going down. And no, in your early 40s and stuff, you're still in your physical peak of manliness where, your testosterone will be at its all time high. But after that, it'll start going down. So I'm going to be like, what are you taking, bro? You roiding? You know what I mean? Are you natty over there? So you don't want someone like that. And you also don't want someone who like is such a self-conscious health freak that like you can't even like pick a place to go out to dinner. You know what I mean? It's like, oh no, I can't eat that. Oh no. It's like, dude, you got
So like good qualities of a potential mate, like flexibility and understanding.
I'll be able to touch the toes.
Well, flexibility with planning, but I also think that so I told you the other night. Oh, we had a great show, by the way. That was a fun show.
Yes, we
So
did.
so the other night, I was telling you how in San Francisco, a couple people at the bars asked me what I was reading, and I was like, "Oh, this is not gonna work. It's not gonna work." And then it's like, "What?" I thought that's weird. I'm so much more interested in what you're watching on TV than like what book you're reading. Sorry, that's just who I am. So like if someone's too cerebral, that's such a turn off for me. So like there's some people, they're like IT people who are so smart for their own good. I'm like, yikes, like come on. Get
Yeah.
arrested, go have some fun. Um I also think that if someone doesn't drink, if they're completely sober, I don't think it would work because I'm still in my party phase. I like to get ripped once a month. I like to get fucking smashed.
Once a month? Really?
Um, well, I'd
Really?
like to get drunk a lot,
Really?
but I'm talking like fucking smashed.
Every goddamn week, we fucking open this goddamn show with one word and one sentence only. Oh God, I'm so hungover right now. You're gonna sit here and tell me that shit? Get out of here. Get out. Just get out. Jimmy, you're on.
Alcohol is cheaper than my copays for psychiatric care.
That's true. It definitely is. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Now, so obviously we know what your type is because her name is Julie, but
Well, you know,
Julie checks all your boxes. Otherwise, you wouldn't be with her for 8
Selena
years.
Gomez wasn't available. You know, I had to go with, someone,
Fair.
so
She just
it
got
was,
married, Selena Gomez.
I know, on Julie's birthday, actually,
Oh,
yesterday.
really?
So, now Julie's like, damn it, that bitch took my thunder. People magazine could only fit one story, and, it was about to be Julie, and then, Selena gets married, and of course, that's outshadowed by Selena. uh, yeah, no, for me, like I honestly, like I obviously think Julie's beautiful, so obviously she hits the physical count. But I think what I love the most is that we can laugh so much and we can eat. Like when we go out to eat, it's always like an adventure. Like yesterday, last night for her birthday dinner, we fucking feasted at this restaurant, and she doesn't
Oh, I
mind.
saw.
Yeah, man, that thing was good. Uh, it was
$300 later.
yeah,
Ooh.
pretty much. Pretty much before tip. Uh, but it was so worth it. And we sit there and we laugh a lot, and I can do anything with her. Because I feel just as comfortable like just hanging out watching TV and doing nothing with her as I do like going out somewhere and having like a date. And so I think it's just finding that person that you can literally like sit there and do absolutely nothing with, and you're still like having a good time. It's nice. So that's how I feel pretty much.
You know what?
Uh,
I will say, um, being gay has its perks because when two people of the same sex or same gender go out on a date, normally it's a toss up who pays. Like maybe I'll pay, maybe you pay, this and that. But my straight friends, I have one at work in particular who was telling me how expensive it is dating because he's like, there's an expectation that the
yeah,
gentleman pays,
yep,
and that's expensive.
it does. Especially if you're going on first date after first date after first date. Because eventually, you get through like date 3, then she can start offering paying, but like you got to get through a couple of dates already to get to that. And then especially if you're dating in New York City, it's not like you're taking her to the local Applebee's, you know what I mean? For all you can eat wings for $10.
Right.
And if you don't ball the fuck out and have a great time, then nowadays it's like she'll go to her friends and they'll talk shit about you. Like, he's so cheap. Like, ew. And little do you know, you've had 4 dates this week and fucking, you're $600 in the hole, just on goddamn first dates. So it is very expensive. I do not miss dating in New York City.
Well,
Uh,
he
yeah,
told me that he was dating this girl and they've been on a few dates. And then she actually recommended a restaurant that was hella expensive. She's like, I've always wanted to try this place. And it was so expensive. And he's like, and I paid for it, but it's like, it was like a few $100s. And I was like, oh my God, what? And so, like, some girls will pay you back by giving you some ass, but how's that any different than
yeah,
prostitution? Do you know what I mean?
totally.
Yeah, a little bit of
Totally.
nookie sounds good, but like, how about a couple 50s? That'd be nice. Pay
I
your
just give you
share.
$20 and we get this over with. Yeah, but at least Nookie's better than nothing. So I'll take it. I'll take it. I'd rather go spend $400 and get a BJ than just spend $400 and get no BJ. I don't know about you. I don't know who would ever want to just spend $400 and get no BJ.
Can
And
I tell you,
so
if I were to go on a date, if I was not enjoying it, I would sneak up to the server. I would pay behind the scenes, and I would say, "Hi, I'm not gonna go home with this person, and I feel horrible. So
ooh,
I'll sleep better at night knowing that I paid for this. So can I just pay my tab?" And then I'll tell the person at the table, I'm sorry, I'm just not feeling it. I'm gonna get going, but it was nice chatting with you, and take care. And then just dip out,
you see,
and I
I
block
would
them.
I would take it one step further. I would go to the server and pay my bill, and then I would also slip him an extra 20 and say, uh, "Tell my date that I was taken out the back by the police, and be like, do you know who that was? That was the serial killer that they've been looking for years. He's killed like 33 people. And then I'll have an excuse to never be seen again. And then when the person's walking down the street and shit and they see me sometimes, I'm just like, how did he get out? I'll just make faces at him like, but that's your getaway. And then they'll never want to see you again. And you're good. It's a cool story to tell.
Yeah.
So that's my tip. But anywho, thank you, Stephen and Julian from Omaha. And Stephen from New Jersey. You guys are great. But now we got some news for you. And this one is crazy. Wait for it. I feel like we should end with a pose. Yeah. That's it. That's perfect. Love it. But buckle up, people, because this story sounds made up, but it's totally true, and I can't believe it. Saw it this morning. But former heavyweight champion of the world, Tyson Fury's daughter, whose name is, of all things, Venezuela, is officially engaged. And I don't know why her name is Venezuela. Maybe that's where she was conceived, like Sima wanted to name his kid Anal, but he kept trying and never worked. Just boom. But here's the kicker. Normally, we'd be very happy for anyone getting engaged. But then it turned out that she is freaking 16 years old. 16 years old. Like, I don't even remember what the fuck I was doing at 16, but I'm 99 sure it involves some acne, like see him over here, AOL Instant Messenger, and really a fucking awful chin strap thing.
No, you didn't.
I was like, man, it'll make me look older. I look like such a fucking jackass. It was awful. But meanwhile, this girl's out here planning a wedding. No, what the hell is going on? So now, before anyone comes for us, yes, love is love, blah, blah, blah. But this feels like a teenage romance and more like a deleted scene from an episode of like Toddlers and Tiaras, Boxer Edition, Extra CTE. Are we the weird ones for thinking 16 is a bit early to start locking it down with till death do us part? Like, you're not even legally allowed to drink the champagne at your own reception. And look, we're not trying to come from Venezuela personally. Again, the name, I relate. The name alone is already a conversation. But when your dad was the fucking heavyweight champion of the world and you're barely old enough to drive, maybe slow your roll just a little bit before you're picking the floral centerpieces, and fighting over the guest list. So my question is this normal now? Like, are we officially washed up old people for thinking engagement should come after your learner's permit? So I need your help with this one, Mr. Mo, and listeners. Hit us up and let us know. Is getting engaged at 16 a red flag? Or am I just a fucking boomer? I need to know. So what do you think?
Okay, so I'm looking up online. Tyson and his wife, they're young. They're not even 40 yet.
Yeah.
So
he literally was just the heavyweight champion.
So she's following in her parents' footsteps. But I see that this guy proposed to her on her 16th birthday. How old is he? Oh, still there? Oh, sorry. Hello. My internet had a hiccup. Okay, so
you fell in her parents' footsteps, and then you went.
So her parents were young when they had her, so I guess she's following in their footsteps. But I want to know, how old is her fiance? He proposed to her on her 16th birthday.
Ugh.
I think on her 16th birthday, you should get them like a car, not a new car, like a used car.
If you're rich, like that's like a lot. Let's see, Noah Price. Boxer age. He's 17.
17.
So they're both too young for this shit. It's not like statutory rape or anything, but it's fucking weird. Like they have no idea what they're doing. Like what? No way.
Do you think she's pregnant? Then she can't drink champagne at her reception because
regardless. But yeah, that's just wild. Like my girlfriend when I was 16 is married now to some other fucking asshole because we grew up and we became different people and shit, you know. Dated way other people in between and married someone else. It's like, I mean, obviously high school sweethearts are a thing, but at 16, no way, dude. You're not old enough to fucking make those decisions at 16, in my opinion. Obviously, at 16, you'd like to think you're old enough to make those decisions. But at 26, I still was like, marriage. I proposed at 36 people. And even then I was still like, how much is a fucking ring? Yeah, so take your time, kids. That's all I'm saying. So but I guess congratulations, because I don't want to get beat up by Tyson Fury. So, I don't know. If he's happy about it, congratulations. If he's mad about it, I'm with you, Dad. So that's the news story for the day. And now it is time for a very interesting edition of Not the Drag Queens. Because this one is
this is a
something
good one.
that yes, and it confirms something that we've been saying for quite some time. But let me. I feel like I need to queue up this the story with a little. Yeah.
Oh, this is good.
Totally. So, this week on Not the Drag Queens, the segment where we remind you that the real threats to society are probably not the ones reading bedtime stories to kids in heels. Now, this week's headline comes straight from the Department of You Can't Make This Shit Up, people. A new batch of research, bless you,
Thank y'all.
shows that people who identify as very conservative, especially in MAGA country, are statistically more likely to consume trans pornography than their liberal counterparts. What? Hold on, I feel like I need one of these.
Also, didn't Grinder like go overboard at Charlie Kirk's funeral?
That was a rumor, actually, and we thought it was true, and apparently it's not true.
Oh, okay.
The RNC one was true. They did crash twice then, but the Charlie Kirk one was admittedly not true, apparently. It's just an internet thing that spread. But let's break down this study. This study was reported by lawsuit.org, and they analyzed Google search trends across the U.S., which goes to show maybe don't look up porn on Google, people, especially if you're into some freaky shit. And it found that searches for transgender porn were most popular in Republican-leaning counties. In fact, the more conservative the area, the more likely that residents were to be typing trans into the old incognito mode, which, again, not very incognito. I guess it's called incognito mode. Anyways, another study reported by Into Magazine found a very similar correlation when they cross-referenced Pornhub viewing data with anti-LGBTQ attitudes from the American Values Atlas. So if too long didn't read, the louder someone screams about protecting the children, the more likely they're watching Step Trans Sister Stuck in the Dryer later that night. It's a thing. And look, we're not here to king shame. You do you, baby. Love who you love. Watch what you want. But the issue here is the fucking hypocrisy, people. Like, that's the real adult content. These are the same folk pushing like anti-trans legislation by day and going full Freaky Friday by night on themselves. And maybe, just maybe, That explains why they're so hateful. Because when you build your identity around denying who you are, the easiest way to cope is by lashing out at people who are living their truth, especially if their truth matches your search history. So we're just going to say it. If your moral values collapse under the weight of a Pornhub category, maybe it's time to look inward. And, anyways, that's the latest from the Red Hatted Hypocrisy Files. But we want to hear from you. Is this projection, repression, or just another case of thou doth protest too much with a side of VPN? Hit us up. Let us know what you think. FratChat Podcast at gmail.com. But what do you think, Mr. Mo? Shocking, not
Well,
shocking?
I'm gonna say this. Um, I I have a lot of friends that are trans male, trans female, and some of them are beautiful, and some of them you would never even know that they're trans. You know what I mean? So sometimes people are, unfortunately fetishize this community, and I think that's not good. You know, when I was younger, I'm not sure they still have this, but like some like the porn sites would have like different categories. You can look at straight porn, gay porn, but instead of
Yeah,
saying
they still do.
trans, you used to use the word she-male porn, which
Yeah.
sounds
I
a little
feel
like icky to me. But
or Lady Boy. I've seen that too.
so
By
I think
research, I mean, not that I've, you know, vote Republican. Oh, God.
well, sometimes I think that this might sound like a tangent, but I have a reason. Okay, so when I was younger, when I came out of the closet, I wasn't entirely sure that I was like completely gay or potentially just open to all the above. So I had a soft coming out, and I would say I like guys and girls. I think so. You ever hear the expression "buy now, gay later"?
That's
So
right.
I was like a soft coming out, and then I realized, okay, I definitely prefer men over females. Maybe I'm just gay. So I think that in these conservative minds, they're thinking, okay, well, if they're female presenting, then I'm not completely gay. I want to get a dick in my ass. But if this dick is also embodies breast implants, then maybe I'm not super gay. Maybe it's
If that penis, that 12-inch dick is attached to some big, bouncy American titties, red blooded American titties, then I am not the one that's gay. You're the one that's gay for calling me gay for liking a dick with
yeah.
titties. Weirdo.
And
Ugh.
some people are like, um, you know, if they are just watching or if they are fucking someone who's female presenting and they're like, I'm not gay
Yeah.
because I'm not receiving, I'm giving, so I'm not that gay. There's levels of gay. So I think that like when I had long hair in Chicago, there's a lot of straight men after a few drinks that would want to um, take me home because I wasn't um, they I guess they felt as if I was feminine enough so that they were still secure in their sexuality because of my long hair. Like I'm not really attracted to men, but I'll give you leeway. Oh, thanks
You
so
have
much.
long
That's so
hair. That's
romantic.
cool.
But it was weird. It was weird. Yeah, a lot of straight men have a lot of
Uh,
curiosity. You'd be surprised.
yeah, that's fucking strange. And it doesn't shock me, of course, but that is a yeah. People make up the weirdest shit just to give themselves a pass. Like I know someone from that I went to high school with, who is married to a lady, and she has this weird rule where apparently to her it's not cheating if he goes and gets like BJs from dudes. But if it's from
Huh.
another woman, it's like their marriage is over. So he has like an open rule where I don't even know if if she was being sarcastic and he just started doing it. It's like, fine, you want to get your dick sucked? Go do it by a guy, And then he's like, okay, but he
Well,
only does that. He goes and gets blown by dudes.
I have a friend who is with a bisexual girl, and he was like, "Listen, I don't want any other dudes fucking you, but if you want to go fool around with the chickadee, go for it." So like, I can see that.
Yeah, but that's weird. Weird.
I don't want anyone touching my significant other.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But if it was a lady, I'd be just pissed that I wasn't invited. Like, what the fuck? I've been
You're
fucking barking
you're
at
like,
the street for years.
I could be the cameraman.
That's right. Like, come on.
Just let me watch.
I'll be quick. You won't even know I'm there. I'll take like 15 seconds, and then the rest of the time is yours.
Yeah.
You're just being selfish. Like, come on. That's
But
all I'm
I
saying.
do think, as far as the story is concerned, that obviously there is an infatuation with the trans community on the right side of the aisle. So conservatives love to talk about trans people. It's weird to
They
me.
do. It's very obsessive, and it's strange.
Yep.
But maybe it'll give you guys something to think about that these studies are out. So, just saying. But anyways, that was another edition of
Not the.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is time to get to it. Because this week we have a crazy show for you. This story is crazy. These stories. Because this week we're diving into the kind of Hollywood gossip that isn't about who cheated, who got canceled, who released a podcast and no one gave a shit about. No. Today, we're getting into celebrities with absolutely unhinged family histories. Now, we're talking about the A-listers who didn't just grow up famous, they grew up around some truly wild shit. Grab a drink, lock your doors, and join us for a ride through the chaotic family trees of some of the richest and the most famous in Hollywood, because sometimes the biggest plot twist in Hollywood happen before the camera even starts rolling. And we have some wild stories for you guys this week. So, why don't you get us started, Mr. Mo? I feel like...
Can we start with the honorable mention? And her name is Ivanka Trump, and her father was convicted on 32 counts and is also an adjudicated rapist.
Oh!
Do we know who I'm referring to? For those listeners that don't know, Ivanka Trump's father is the president of the United States, who is technically a criminal.
I see what you did there. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's very
Don't
true.
come for me, because it's completely factual.
It is factual.
And if you're like, that's not true, then just think about the things that's come out of his mouth. He said some weird stuff. Especially, he likes to go backstage in like pageants and look at naked people and grab them by the pussy. It's fucking weird.
They're underage there too, in that pageant a lot of the time.
Release the Epstein files.
Yep. Shit. Now CMO's gonna get taken to fucking El Salvador or Rwanda or some shit, and I'm gonna need to find a new co-host. And I told Jimmy that if you somehow got deported, he could be the co-host, because I never thought you would, but here we are. Yeah.
Jimmy can't stay awake long enough to make it through an episode.
Yeah, he's out right now. So technically we'd be like talking to myself, which would be better than talking to him. So,
well, my first one is, do you remember the guy that played Spider-Man a while back? His name's Tobey Maguire.
Do I ever? I love Toby.
I think he was also in some like movie about a horse.
Seabiscuit.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he's a great actor. He's done some good stuff, actually.
Well, he grew up like not having a lot. And when he was younger, in 1993, his father, who's named Vincent Maguire, was convicted of robbing a bank in his hometown of Reseda, California, which I didn't think happened like in the 90s. I thought that happened in like the Wild Wild West days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But apparently, Vincent Maguire was financially motivated after his sister's death, which left him responsible for her 2 children. So he was like desperate, and I guess that was like the only solution he can come up with. There's other people would get a part-time job, but he thought he could rob a bank and get away with it. No one gets away with robbing banks these days, guys.
No, especially ever since the invention of the security camera, no one fucking gets away with it, robbing a goddamn bank. Like, are you crazy? People watch too many movies, though. I think it's the problem.
I know.
I think that's the problem. He probably watched like some shit, he started watching the movie Heat with Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. And he's like, "Wow, this movie's cool." And then midway through the movie, he was like, "I can do this," and then went out to rob this bank. Not bothering to watch the end of the movie, where all the fucking cool people get killed.
Yep.
So yeah, no, this is. I had no idea, especially Toby. Like he looks like such a nice, you know, such a nice, well-adjusted boy. You never think, but he can play. Like, there's a movie, I forget the name of it, but he plays a military guy who they thought that he died in the war, and his wife apparently like hooked up with his brother or some shit while he was away, but thinking that he was dead, and then it came out that he was alive. But then he finds out, and he like loses his shit and starts like slamming stuff in their kitchen, and you can like he's like screaming at her, but he's also like crying, and he's like having like a PTSD breakdown and from the war, and he's like, "Do you even know what the fuck I fucking just came back from?" And like, it is one of the most powerful pieces of acting I've ever seen. And I'm always like, how the fuck do people like that channel that kind of intensity and pain and hurt all in a take? And it has to come from somewhere. And I think empathy is a great acting teacher. And maybe this is why, like having a dad who runs a
I
fucking bank.
think that when he was younger, he struggled with maybe drugs and alcohol when he was a teen, and I think that he had an interest in cooking. And I could be wrong, but I think that like his mom or someone gifted him money for like a cooking class, and then he decided maybe I should put that money towards an acting class. And then bada bing, bada boom, he's Spider Man.
Yeah. And he was buddies with Leo DiCaprio when they were young too. Uh yeah, he's the man. I love Toby. So good for you for what is it, taking chicken shit and making it into chicken salad, as white people like to say for some reason.
I'd never heard that, but I don't want chicken
You never
shit in
heard
my
that?
chicken salad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't that sounds gross. Why would you ever
I
want to
wouldn't.
make chicken salad out of chicken shit?
I wouldn't take lemons and limes and make them into margaritas.
Yeah, then that sounds good.
Lemonade's for pussies. I want a fucking marg.
Put some fucking tequila in it.
Yeah.
Goddamn right. All right. Anyways, this next one, I had no idea until literally researching for this. But this is Jackie Chan, who we all know, one of the greatest martial arts slash movie stars in the history of the world, who also is
Okay.
very funny and does comedy. He has yeah,
He's
uh,
okay. He does
yeah,
he
he's
does a thing or
bad.
two.
That's
But
right.
he's a fucking man.
But he's a fucking martial arts icon, literally a living stunt reel, and the most wholesome ass kicker on earth. But his parents' story is straight out of like a Cold War thriller. His father, whose name is Charles Chan, was a spy, like for real, like a real life spy. During the Chinese Civil War, he worked as a nationalist intelligence agent, which is essentially like a Secret Service guy. Excuse me, they're trying to kill me. No, but he was also tied to the Shanghai underworld. And before that, he was a gangster who went by the name of Fang Shelong, which sounds a lot like a rejected Mortal Kombat boss. I'm not gonna lie, but I
Yeah.
dig it. It's like, was it Shao Kahn versus Liu Kang versus Fang Shelong? I'm just saying. But the guy reportedly killed someone and fled town, which is not really like strict dad energy. It's more like John Wick prequel material. So, fast forward to his mom. She was just as intense. She was a fucking opium smuggler and gambler, known in
Oh.
her yeah, known in her circles as a black market queen in wartime China. She lost her first husband to war. She was widowed, and then she hustled to feed her kids. And by hustled, we mean she hid contraband in her clothes and rolled dice with gangsters. She was also, when she met Charles under insane circumstances, He was working undercover at the American consulate in Shanghai and arrested her during an opium bust. No joke. It was like a fucking scene from a Bond movie. It said instead of MI6, it was real and involved dumplings and knives. And eventually, they ended up fleeing to Hong Kong under fake names. They started new lives and had a son, little Jackie. And Jackie didn't find out about this until he was in like his mid 40s when a
Oh
documentary
wow.
crew uncovered the truth. And before that, he had literally, again, no idea that his parents were international fugitives who fled from war, espionage, and gang life. He was like jumping off buildings for movie stunts, while the actual origin story of his life was somehow even more dangerous and crazier than anything he ever felt. And get this, his parents had other kids from previous marriages in China, and they had to leave them behind when they fled. And it wasn't until Jackie was famous that they were all reunited, like decades later. So imagine making it big in Hollywood and somehow suddenly meeting these secret siblings because your mom used to run dice games for the mob and your dad was a fucking Chinese Jason Bourne. This man didn't just do his own stunts, he was fucking raised by them. So, Jackie Chan, they should make a movie about your parents. I'm telling you, this is crazy.
Can you imagine like finding out you have this like long lost family?
Yeah.
I
That's
wonder if any of
wild.
his like if his half siblings are like kung fu masters too or
Yeah,
taekwondo
right.
champions.
Or like they pretend to be, it's like, oh yeah, my brother's Jackie Chan. I can show you a thing or two. But he's actually like terrible. He just hopes no one tests them. I swear it's me. Don't hit me. I'll kill you.
That's like rest in peace. Remember when Bobby Christina um was trying to sing because her mother was Whitney Houston. Everyone
Yeah.
we had such high hopes, but then when she opened her mouth, we were like, oh,
Yeah, no,
ooh, okay.
she had the Bobby genes for singing.
And the
Girl,
tea.
it's true. No, Bobby
Yeah.
was good. I don't know, but both your parents are great singers. How do you not come out with a single fucking singing gene in you? Like how does that happen? She all
I
the
don't know.
recessive genes. That is very unlikely, really. Like it should be a 75% chance at least that she had a good singing voice. If you ask Dr. Mendel, do the little charts with the alleles and the thingy and the thingy, taking you back to high school science. But anyways,
Well, next up on my list, I have Kiefer Sutherland.
oh, the Keef, I
Uh
love him.
huh. And it's because his mom, Shirley Douglas, was arrested for her activism, including a weapons related charge. And so a while back, um, she was like a big actress in Canada. And
Oh,
so, yeah, and she was a big, she
Canada,
was
eh?
Canada, eh? She was a big activist too, and she was arrested for allegedly attempting to buy hand grenades for the Black Panther Party.
What?
Yeah.
That's wild, dude. That's fucking
The
crazy.
case was dismissed because famous people have money, and I'm sure that's had a contributing factor. But she was exonerated. But what happened was undercover FBI agents were the ones she was attempting to purchase the grenades from, with the intention
Wow.
to pay with a personal check. What a dumbass!
Yeah, that's so stupid. Really, dude? Really? You should have been smarter than that. Your fucking son turned out to be Jack
Always
Bauer.
cash, always cash.
Yeah, and you don't go and make the buy yourself. Fucking send someone else to do it. Duh.
Jeez Louise. But yeah,
Fucking amateurs. Did you
I
watch
know,
any
right?
TV?
I haven't been arrested in a few years. You know why? Because I learned how to be sneaky.
That's right.
It took me 4 attempts to realize, okay, I need to get my life together. And by life together,
And now
I need to be a little bit more sneaky.
they'll never tie him to any of the bodies.
Hmm.
You hear that, police? So
Correct.
that's fucking wow. Kiefer. Wow. I had no idea. But how now? Here's the thing. The case ended up being dismissed, right? But how? She wrote a fucking check. Like, how was she exonerated?
Who knows?
Like, is this like a Forrest Gump's mom type of situation? To get him into
I
school, to pass the. Don't kill me, Kiefer. I love you. You're like one of my favorite actors. But
well, I think it's simply because she's rich, famous, and white, and then people were like, "Oh, she's not that big of a threat.
yeah, maybe.
She's Canadian. We don't
Yeah,
want
she's
to
got a
make
good
trouble
lawyer.
with Canadians."
Yeah, it really is about what a good lawyer can prove in court, anyways. So that's fair.
Yeah.
But anyways, taking you now to this
Do you think the
next one.
court was like, "How bad can she be? She used a personal check, guys. Like, is she a monster, or she's just like
Yeah,
desperate?
yeah,
I
or
mean,
stupid.
cut her some slack."
Yeah, no, totally.
Can you imagine if I was to go to like, buy some guns on the black market and be like, "Oh, this machine gun, oh, this is nice. It's heavier than I thought, but this is nice. Do you guys take a personal check?"
I
They'd be
mean,
like, "No,
honestly,
dude.
in fucking Texas, you probably can do that. Just go to Walmart.
Texas,
Buying
you
all
can
the
pay for things with chickens.
Yep.
I can give you $20,000 or 3 dozen eggs. What do you think?"
That's right. But anywho, on to the next one. This one is even wilder because I had no idea that some of it took place in my home country, Venezuela, with
Uh-oh.
Joaquin Phoenix, which I'll call this one Cult to Personality, because before he was the Joker, before he was yelling Johnny Cash's record producer, before he was handing out forehead kisses to Rooney Mara like some feral heartthrob, Joaquin Phoenix was born into a freaky sex cult in Venezuela. No, not a commune, a fringe religion, a cult. His parents were members of the Children of God, which is a religious movement that started
Ooh.
in the late 1960s and spiraled hard into full blown abuse, especially of women and children. And Joaquin was born while his family was stationed as missionaries in South America. And while most babies grow up hearing lullabies, Joaquin Phoenix was surrounded by adults preaching free love while living under rules that explicitly encourage sexual acts with children. Not kidding. And this wasn't just like spiritual nonsense, it was like systemic. The cult distributed pamphlets promoting pedophilia, encouraged members to share their wives with others, and banned outside influence like books, TV, and music. And Joaquin and his siblings, including River, Rain, Liberty, and Summer, yes, all real names, were raised in this chaos, cut off from the world, dirt poor, and forced into the cult's twisted ideology. Now, when Joaquin's parents finally saw the red flags, which, let's be honest, were more like fucking flaming billboards, they fled the group and made their way back into the U.S. with their 5 kids and literally nothing with them other than their names. And once free, the family did what all ex cult families in the 80s apparently did, which is change their last name to Phoenix, as in rising from the ashes. So seriously, that wasn't a stage name. That was their survival story in one word. They lived out of a van, they bust on street corners, and ate from dumpsters while trying to rebuild their lives. And the kids, oh my God, this is like weird. Now my Google is playing music. Do you hear that?
Yeah, I do hear that.
Hey, Google, stop. That was so fucking weird.
Dude, your
That
house
was,
is fucking haunted.
yeah, I don't know what's happening to that, but I don't like it. I need to get the fuck out of here. That was so strange.
Bad news
Uh,
bears.
Yeah, but anyways, woo. They were literally, living out of a van, bust on street corners, and ate from dumpsters when trying to rebuild their lives. And the kids started acting to help support the family. River luckily became a breakout star, and then Joaquin followed. And then, of course, tragedy struck again when River died of a heroin overdose in 1993, right in front of his brother Joaquin outside the Viper Room. Joaquin was the one who made the infamous 911 call, which you can still hear online, and I suggest you don't because it's pretty fucking haunting. But somehow, through all of that, Joaquin Phoenix didn't just survive. He became one of the most intense, brilliant, and unpredictable actors of his generation. And yes, he's fucking eccentric. Yes, he gave the weird acceptance speeches about cow's milk and planted trees with his Oscar. But let's be real, the man was literally born into fucking hell, climbed out of it barefoot, and then turn it into goddamn acting fuel. And he didn't just go method. He is method. He's not fucking acting. He's just been emotionally waterboarded by life since birth. And now we're watching the aftermath. So if anyone deserves a last name like Phoenix, I'd say it's this dude. His whole family was a Greek tragedy, literally a cult escape story, and a Hollywood redemption arc, all rolled into one dude who can cry, scream, and win Best Actor without blinking once. And it's some pretty sweet moves down some steps. So shout out to Joaquin Phoenix. That's a fucking epic story.
Oh, wow.
Goddamn.
Okay.
And a Phoenix too. I think that's
You
my
know,
favorite.
Joker, he was incredible. Joker number 2. He didn't do a bad job. It's just the movie was stupid. Like I didn't like the way it was written. I didn't,
Well,
but
the whole thing
his
is they don't
acting is
explain
superb.
like the Joker himself actually sings a lot in Batman. So that's kind of like the side of him that we're trying to show, but like they didn't explain it at all. So it's just like a half movie, half musical type thing. And there's no Batman there to kind of break out of it. So it just didn't work. It didn't work. But apparently that was like the parts where he's singing is supposed to be kind of like the mind of the Joker, but they didn't really explain that well either. So I don't know. I think they should have just done something more like the first movie and kept leading to when Batman eventually becomes Batman and starts coming after him. But that's just me. But anyways, what you got next, Mr. Mo?
Next up, I have do you remember Terrence Howard? I haven't seen him in a while, but Terrence Howard was definitely like on top of the world at one point a few years back.
He was.
So his father spent time in prison for stabbing a man to death during a Santa Claus parade in 1971.
What? God damn. Santa Claus parade?
Yeah, if you want to look it up online, it's called the Santa Line Slaying. It was a highly publicized physical altercation that occurred in the line at a Higbee's department store waiting to meet Santa on December 21st, 1971 in Cleveland, Ohio.
Wow.
The incident, is it Cleveland, Ohio or Omaha, Ohio?
Cleveland, Ohio.
That is called a callback. Okay, so this incident resulted in the death of one man. His name is Jack Fitzpatrick, with the other man involved, Tyrone Howard, suffering a scrotal injury. He got his dick slashed. Howard, so Tyrone Howard, who was Terrence's dad, Tyrone Howard was convicted of manslaughter and served only 11 months in prison. In 2005, the incident attracted some attention again when it was revealed that Tyrone Howard is the father of famous actor Terrence Howard, who actually witnessed the incident as a young boy.
Wow, dude.
Yikes.
That's wild. That's wild. Ooh, and a scrotal injury. Ooh.
I never heard of Higbee's.
Yeah, I don't know.
It sounds like a department store in Ohio.
Definitely. Absolutely. And it definitely sounds like somewhere you go to get stabbed waiting for Santa.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a big ass store though. They're massive. Strange. Yeah, never heard of them.
Can you imagine when you're in line to see Santa and people are stabbing each other and you're like, Mom, I don't need to see Santa. I'll write him a letter instead.
No, my dad would have been a positive thinker. He'd be like, well, that's 2 less people in the line. Let's get over to move quicker now.
Fair. Very fair.
Can you stab that guy too? We're in a hurry. Come on. Oh shit. Yeah, no, that is fucking crazy. And oof, I still can't get over him getting stabbed in the nuts. Or did the person was like fighting and like grab them? It was like, ah.
Sometimes I get scrotum and grundle mixed up. Scrotum holds your balls, and the grundle is the taint, right?
Correct.
So scrotal injury, I wonder if one of his balls fell out. I wonder if his scrotal got sliced open and his nut just like fell out on the pavement.
That's what I'm saying.
Bloop.
And then now they call him One Ball Howard. You just don't want to, you don't want to deal with that. That sounds awful. I'd rather be the other guy, the guy that died. I don't want to fucking get a ball stabbed out of me. That sounds awful. Really. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Just the what do you even how do you even recover from that? Do you go to therapy? What the fuck?
I don't know how you can recover emotionally from that.
Yeah, no.
Like,
No
I
way.
don't, the stitches don't bother me. It's just the pure embarrassment.
And then just looking down at your balls, looking like a 3-day-old meatball after. Ugh.
You know, though,
No.
I always wonder, like, evolution really did men dirty because, like all these species across the world had developed these defense mechanisms to help them survive in the wild, camouflage or armor, things like that. But we have our most sensitive organ really just kind of out on display, and it's protected with what I can only describe as like eyelid skin. Like, really?
But to be fair, that's why shrinkage is a thing. And that's why when you're like in a fight or like really scared, it shrinks because
Oh, it does?
it's supposed to get teeny, teeny, tiny. So then it's less likely to get bitten off by a creature or some shit like that. So that is
But
the
I think that
it actually
ball
has a
sacks should be impenetrable. It should be like an armor.
That's true. But to be fair, ball skin is pretty tough compared to the rest of your skin, you know? And yeah, no, and it is the warmest part of your body too. That's why guys are always down there like Al Bundy, you know. So they're trying. Just maybe give it a few thousand years of evolutionary movement, and maybe that's what's going to happen. Maybe that's why those Asian dudes train themselves to like get kicked in the nuts over and over. Like the like the monks who are just like standing there with some guys, caw, 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 and they're not like they know sell it completely. Like, oh, maybe that's what they're working for. Let's hope for the future of mankind. But anywho, I believe I am up. And the next one, this one is Charlize Theron. And you know how people say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger? Well, Charlize Theron lived that shit literally. Because when she was 15, her alcoholic father came home, drunk and violent, threatening to kill her and her mom. And he fired a gun into her bedroom door. So what did Charlize's
Ooh.
mom do? She grabbed her own fucking gun and shot his ass dead in front of her. And the courts, of course, ruled it self-defense, and no charges ended up being filed against her. But the whole thing was so cleanly handled that it felt like a scene from like Atomic Blonde. But this shit wasn't a movie; it was real life. And the crazy thing is that she rarely talks about it unless she has to. But she said that that trauma shaped her, and not just the incident, the years leading up to it, living in fear of a drunk father with violent outbursts. Her mom, however, still remains a strong figure in her life, and the two are reportedly very close. But this goes back to, she is an actress that is fantastic at these traumatic roles. And that's another one that I wondered, how the fuck could she get into the mind of, like, for example, Eileen Wuornos, the first woman put to death in America as a serial killer? Like fucking the trauma of her childhood and shit. Kind of really falls in line with Eileen Wuornos's, and now I get it. Like that's why she's able to channel these roles and have this empathy for these traumatic ass roles. So I give it to her. She is, I think, one of the best, not just female actresses but actors of our time. And the
I
fact that
agree. And can you imagine if that bullet hit her?
yeah,
That's scary. If
totally.
her dad had better aim or she was standing behind that door, we wouldn't have like what was the movie that you're just referencing? What was that called?
Monster.
Monster. I was gonna say Monsters Ball, but that's just Halle Berry.
Yeah, Monster. Christina Ricci, actually. Ex Wednesday Adams. But yeah, dude, she like that is a fucking insane, and yeah, good point. I didn't even think about that. Like a couple of inches to the left or to the right, and we don't have one of the best actors in the world. Oh man.
I know that
So
Kristen Stewart. Is it Kirsten Stewart or Kristen Stewart? I never know.
I never know how to say it. And so I just go back and forth. If I'm talking to someone, and I have to say it twice in a sentence, I'd say it once one way and once the other.
Yeah, well,
I hope
when
they
she
don't
was
notice.
Snow White, I just found Charlize Theron so captivating the entire time, even though Chris Hemsworth is a total babe, and I should have been drooling over him. I was just so captivated by Charlize Theron. She's just such
Yeah,
like a captivating, compelling performer.
for
And
sure,
not to
dude.
mention she's beautiful.
Yeah.
When the
Yeah,
when
she
the Dior commercials come on, my mom is like, "Everyone, be quiet."
Yeah, no, she's fucking amazing. And speaking of Chris Hemsworth, I have to say I am so jealous of him, and I can admit it, because he got like the best of everything. He has great genetics, so he's like tall, super handsome, a fantastic accent, and he's a genuinely a nice ass guy, and he's also incredibly charming and funny. Like it's like, dude, can you leave some from the fucking quality tree for the rest of us? Like, what the fuck? Like, come on, you can do some of the others, you know? Like, you take everything. And the thing is, like, you root for him, even though you should hate him because he's everything no one is. He's like a fucking Greek god. He literally is Thor. But no, man, that man has everything, and you still can't hate him. You still can't hate him. It's like when Tom Brady was winning fucking back-to-back Super Bowls, everybody hated him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
This should be the same type of thing here. He has everything, but he's so goddamn cool and
but
nice.
did
Just can't hate him.
people hate Tom Brady because he was so successful in football and they were jealous, or do they hate him because he kisses his son on the mouth too much in public? I
Well,
don't
maybe a little
know.
column A, a little bit of column B. But when he went to Tampa Bay, they sure stopped talking about that so much. So thank God at least. But anywho, what you
Well,
got
next
now?
up, I've got the queen of rap. Her name is Nicki Minaj. And what people don't know is that Minaj's father was an alcoholic and a crack cocaine addict whom
Wow.
Minaj described to be violent and abusive to her mother. In fact, he committed arson onto their house in December of 1987. So she
Wow.
was quoted to say, he drank a lot and did drugs. And he would get violent when he did. When he set fire to the house, he was attempting to kill my mother. She got out before it burned all the way down. So she'll talk about this openly, but I could be wrong, but I think that he died in a car accident in Long Island, not too far from here. Maybe
Holy
not.
shit.
Let me see.
That's crazy. That
So
is crazy.
yeah, I think that he died. Let me see. Nicki Minaj, father.
4 hours later.
Um,
Do, do,
so
do, do.
Robert, um, he died in February 2021 after being struck by a hit and run driver in Mineola, New York at age 64. And the driver was sentenced to 1 year in jail, a $5,000 fine, and suspended license for leaving the scene and tampering with evidence.
Crazy, dude.
Yeah, so Nicki Minaj's dad was just walking on the road, and he died from his injuries.
And honestly, that's why you got to be careful with people. It doesn't matter where it can happen. I know someone who died like that. Literally dropped off his car to get an oil change at the place that he always did every fucking 3 to 6 months, whatever the fuck it was. Went to get a coffee. I guess he didn't check the street or thought someone who was coming for him was going to stop, and boom, crushed by car, died right there. And it's like, and I almost got hit by a car. Someone here in Hoboken. The person didn't see the red light and was speeding at it. Luckily, I saw it, and I started yelling from the sidewalk, "Hey!" And then they slammed their brakes finally, and I gave them a piece of my, piece of my mind. It's like, you could have fucking killed me if I don't see you. And they were like, "I'm so sorry," but you gotta always do a double check, and you can't assume just because you see a driver that they see you. I also almost got run over by some dude coming out of a stop sign the other day that I don't know what the fuck he was looking at, but I had to like slam into his hood and be like, "Hey, I'm fucking walking here." like, like he almost killed me. And a cop luckily saw it and then, took care of the situation. But
On the Lower East Side, someone I had the the little white man light walkway, and this
yeah.
guy tried to turn and almost hit me. I literally had to jump back, and he was like, "Watch where you're fucking going!" And I spit on his window. Fuck you! You fucking serious? Are you fucking serious? I got the light, asshole. So
Gross. But yeah, people are the worst. It's like you gotta always be on your toes.
mhm.
You're walking. Keep an eye out. And I don't trust anyone. But anyway, on to this next one. This next one could have easily been a number one, but the number one story is pretty wild. However, this one's for Army Hammer, who has a crazy family tree. So
Doesn't
he's
that
an
sound like cleaning utensils, like cleaning products?
like
Army
Arm
Hammer.
and Hammer. Yeah, literally.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Maybe that's that's really the origin of the family. But you've seen him in movies like The Man from Uncle, The Social Network, Call Me by Your Name, and all kinds of things. He's a pretty good actor. But here is the thing. His family line is fucking crazy. So let's start at the top of the Hammer ladder with Armand Hammer, aka his great grandfather, and the original Bond villain in spirit, if not casting, and I guess the original It's Hammer Time. Move over, MC Hammer. Now, Armand wasn't just rich; he was obscenely wealthy. He ran Occidental Petroleum and had dealings with everyone from US presidents to Soviet leaders. And this guy was such a baller that he had Lenin's death mask in his office and regularly did business with the USSR at the height of the Cold War. Also, Richard Nixon, former president of the United States, called him a friend. Gorbachev, former USSR leader, called him a capitalist genius, and the RAS probably called him every week.
Yeah.
Literally. Now, Armand was also sketchy as hell. He was investigated multiple times for shady deals, alleged bribery, illegal campaign contributions, and using offshore companies to hide wealth. And he bought influence like most people buy snacks. And he had serious main character energy. Like he once tried to convince Prince Charles to give him a knighthood. The man made millions of oil money, lied about everything, and was known for rewriting his own legacy while still alive. His personal motto might as well have been lie, cheat, and hydrate. And then
Oh.
comes Michael Hammer, Army's dad, the heir to the Hammer fortune, and a man who apparently looked at his family legacy and thought, how can I make this darker and hornier? So Michael inherited the money and the power and then promptly spiraled into all the stuff you pray your family doesn't Google. He ran the Hammer Foundation, a charitable organization that somehow funneled money toward deeply religious causes, while he allegedly kept on a full sex dungeon hidden in one of his properties, like 50 Shades of Prey. But wait, it gets darker. Michael's own siblings accused him of abuse, manipulation, and mental cruelty in a series of bombshell statements. His sister, Casey Hammer, even wrote a memoir that called the family a tightly woven web of deception, violence, addiction, and betrayal. She said Michael was obsessed with controlling others, hoarded power, and created an environment of silence and fear. And one of the relatives even described growing up in the Hammer family as like living in a horror movie, but you're not allowed to scream. So, by the time Army burst into the scene of The Social Network and Call Me by Your Name, he was the clean cut, chiseled faced golden boy who'd seemingly escaped the generational rot. But nope. Turns out maybe the apple didn't fall far from the oil stained tree because his now infamous cannibalism's DMs, which went famous where he once told someone, I want to eat your rib, weren't just internet gossip, but they sparked multiple allegations of abuse and led to one of the wildest PR implosions in modern celebrity history. He got dropped by his agents. His publicist quit, and he was exiled to the Cayman Islands, where he was literally selling timeshares. So he went from Hollywood to hotel packages. And that's literally not just a fall from grace, ladies and gentlemen. That's a free fall from a fucking flaming penthouse. So the House of Hammer didn't just crumble, it exploded. And we're all just watching the slow-mo replay with popcorn, people. But that is
Oh, I didn't realize that
wild.
he's still exiled, so he doesn't act at all anymore.
Yeah, I think he recently got cast in a role from that, like since the whole scandal. So maybe he'd be able to make a comeback. Because I'm not gonna lie, he was a good actor, but the whole cannibalism thing, if he has a cannibalism fetish, I don't know, man. However, you'd be surprised because more people than you'd think have cannibalism fetishes. Like it's like a common thing. It doesn't mean they act on it, but there's like there used to be like websites and chat groups and shit like that where they would go and like write out their fantasies. And it's like pretty creepy, perverted stuff. But they're out there. So I don't know. It's kind of weird, I guess it's a fantasy as long as you don't act on it, but like where do you draw the line? It's like
Wikipedia says that he's admitted to consensual BDSM and emotional abuse, but deny claims of sexual abuse and cannibalism.
so there you
So,
go. So he like
you know what? I don't want to be a kink shamer, but oof.
yeah, it's kind of odd. Kind of yucky. Definitely
So,
kinda
so I guess, and call me by your name. Call me by my name. Call me by your name. What's it?
Call me by your name.
Call me by your name. When they were like, okay, you're gonna have to eat a cum-filled peach, and he's like, just a cum-filled peach.
He's like,
eat a
oh,
cum-filled
don't worry, I
anything."
brought my own. I was planning to have these for lunch, but if you can eat them, I brought a bag of them.
Can I submit an amendment to the script? Could we consider a cum-filled watermelon? It's
That's
just more
right.
cum. That sounds good.
But you think a cum-filled peach will look good on camera? No, but
A cum-filled boot. All the
Or
above. Let's cum-fill everything.
how about a cum-filled party sub? You know how much cum? Then we'll eat it end to end. Come on, Chalamet, let's go.
You know what's interesting? I still think people are like, some of my older gay friends are like, what a beautiful love story. I'm like, it's statutory.
Yeah.
Statutory rape.
Like, that is
It's
literally
like
rape.
the kid was too young. Like, it was a grad student. Like, it's not a good story.
Like that's something he revisits like 20 years down the line while writing his journal and then realizes, oh, he made me eat a cum fucking peach. I was raped. Ah!
But I think that like, if I was like an executive and someone presented this script, I'd be like, can we make the kid a little bit older? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to get in trouble. But everyone
Yeah.
was like, this is great. What?
Yeah. Like
I don't
I'm not
understand.
loving this situation here. Can we turn it down some, please, with the rape? Wait, how much are you paying me? Okay. Chalamet again. Bring the peach. It's time. You don't want to be late. Daddy has a new mortgage to pay off.
Well, my next one might get me in trouble because it's not proven.
Oh.
But there are there've been allegations for years and it just kind of like resurfaced.
Oh, they've been resurfacing. Yep, it's true.
And so it's interesting to me because Elon Musk loves to he loves to tweet. I don't know if it's called X now. Do we still call them tweets?
Yeah, I guess. Because you don't
So
call
I
them.
know he wants us to call it X and not Twitter, but like, what do you call the messages?
I guess you call them. I guess you still call them tweets.
Tweets
Or posts.
So,
yeah, message. I don't know. I don't know. I still call them tweets.
Whenever there's like a liberal that like did something wrong, he loves to blow up their spot, right? And he'll like scour the internet like all night, post like for hours. I'm like, does this guy even sleep? But he was so fixated on the Epstein files and like blowing up Trump's blown his spot up with accusations about Trump and the Epstein files, and uh, I feel like this is a case where the calls coming from inside the house. 'Cause I feel like if anyone knows anything about child abuse, child sexual abuse, is probably Elon Musk, because his father allegedly was a diddler. So, as of late September 2025, which is now,
Right.
his father, Errol Musk, is facing multiple allegations of child sexual abuse involving 5 of his own children and stepchildren, spanning from 1993 to 2023. That's a 30-year span.
Wow.
So the accusations, which stem from a New York Times investigation, involve incidents in both South Africa and California. So some people are like, well, they're just trying to get money out of Errol because Elon has so much money. But Elon didn't have this much money 30 years ago. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
no.
like, I don't know. So allegations against the 79-year-old businessman include a 1993 incident where his then 4-year-old stepdaughter alleges he touched her inappropriately. In 2003, 10 years later, the same stepdaughter, then a teenager, claimed she caught him sniffing her dirty underwear in the family's Malibu home. This
Oh, that's
incident
horrible.
allegedly prompted Elon Musk to intervene and move his father out of the country. Additional reports that family members accused him of abusing 2 of his daughters and stepson. A 2022 incident reported by relatives in which a then 5-year-old son said Errol Musk had groped him. So I could be wrong, but doesn't he have like a Woody Allen esque like story? Did Errol marry his stepdaughter?
Uh, I don't know. I had never heard that, but it wouldn't shock me. I do know that they have some ties to Nazism.
Um, Let me see. So um my father. So in March 2018, it was reported that Errol Musk had fathered a child with his adult stepdaughter. Ew.
Oh,
Then he had another child with her.
that's so.
Ew.
That's just fucking gross.
He commented, "The one thing we are on Earth for is to reproduce, but not with family. Not with
Yeah, no, not like
family."
that, dude. Not like that. That's not the excuse you think it is, Harold. You fucking dope. Ew. Ew. Well, she needed a date to prom. Fucking
Ooh,
creep. That is so weird, dude.
horrible.
That is so
So
weird.
again, these are all allegations, but when there's smoke, there's fire, and there's been a lot of allegations for a long time, and it's not uncommon for rich white people to not be held accountable for things because they've got connections. It's really sick. Ugh. So part of me is like, maybe Elon Musk is so fixated on the Epstein list because that's all he knows growing up is like covering or making excuses or maybe fighting against the monster within his home. And then also, I mean, I don't know, but allegedly people say that Elon Musk dabbles with controlled substances, and I feel like that checks. If you are a victim of um sexual abuse as a kid, or if you witness it in your household, then like turning to drugs makes sense to me.
Yeah, totally. Um, now, God, this is just crazy to
Elon
me.
Musk has a
But
lot of kids, and he's pretty much just a sperm donor. I don't know if he's active in his kids' lives. I think he just
I
like
don't think so.
spreads his
No.
seed. And like, if his example was this monster, then like, I'm not
Yeah, no.
excusing his behavior, but I'm like, this all kind of checks, you know?
His kids don't tend to have the best relationships with him. Even the baby who punched him in the eye. But
Yeah.
I'm just imagining. Also, he's been complaining recently about not that he's been mentioned on the Epstein stuff, but his placement in the order. He's like, how come you guys have put Prince Andrew after me when he actually went on the thing. It's like, listen, dude, you do not want to be in the same sentence. You don't want to put your name and Prince Andrew's name in the same sentence in any defense that you want to use, dude. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Are you high? Like, what is wrong with you? So no, he is. It's an unwinnable situation with him too, because it's like this is his dad who didn't have the best allegations already, and for him, everybody already thought he was a Nazi. Now he's gonna think he's a diddler too. So I don't know what's gonna come from this, but the U.S. and the world leaders that the U.S. Look up to are getting really diddly these days, don't you think?
Yeah.
But anywho, down to my final one. And of course, I got to end with a big Woody in the end. Oh, oh yes, CMO. But this is Mr. Woody Harrelson, who we love him here on the FratChat Podcast. And before Woody Harrelson was out here charming America as the lovable stoner goofball or playing twisted geniuses in True Detective, his real life dad was literally the guy Liam Neeson warns you about in Taken. Charles Harrelson, Woody's dad, was a professional hitman. And not just like a hitman, like some guy who yells at parking meters. No, but a straight up contract killer. He was convicted in 1979 for the assassination of a federal judge, which is about as rare and serious as it gets. And that made him the only person to kill a sitting federal judge in the entire 20th century. Pretty casual, right? And get this. When the cops had him cornered during a cocaine field standoff, Charles reportedly claimed that he was the one that killed JFK. And then he later said that was just drug-induced nonsense. But damn, that's kind of a bold thing to say, even when you're high. Now, imagine being Woody, growing up thinking your dad's a traveling salesman, which is what he used to tell him, only to find out that he's out here taking people out like it's fucking Call of Duty on veteran mode. So the next time you see Woody Harrelson being all zen and weird, just remember that's probably the healthiest outcome for someone whose dad had a literal body count. And not a body count like Simo's mom in college. No, this is like a real body count.
Yeah.
Holy shit. So wow. Yeah, I had to end with number one. Everybody had very crazy stories. Jackie Chan's dad was a goddamn spy, but a hitman and the only one to kill a federal judge who was a sitting federal judge in the entire 20th century. That right there takes the cake for me. So I got to give it to him. He's my number one. What would you do if you found out Monk was a hitman?
I would move him to Canada.
That's a good move. They're very polite there. Easier.
But also, I'd be like, well, who'd you take out? They deserve it. Because like, if my father was a hitman and he was the one that murdered Epstein, I'd be really that upset about it.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's definitely true.
So I feel like if like that show Dexter, was Dexter that bad of a person?
Yeah. Dexter had a code because of his dad, and Dexter would take out killers. So thanks to his dad, he was able to create this code that made him at least, sure, he's a monster, but he's a monster pointed in the right direction.
Yeah.
Which is good. Especially because a lot of the people he would kill, the cops would do shitty jobs with. So, it's like Batman. Batman's technically out there committing crimes, but he's stopping bad guys. So, are those really crimes if he's stopping bad guys? I don't know. That's for the readers to decide. But yeah, I'm with you. That shit's crazy. Yeah. Anywho, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, that was our list of the celebs with the craziest parental background. And by the way, we've stumbled upon many more stories like this. So let us know if you found any of your stories yourself that you want us to share. Shoot us an email, fratchatpodcast@gmail.com. We can definitely revisit this topic. Or give us a call on all social channels at FratChat Podcast. That's on Instagram. That's on YouTube. That's on Threads, Facebook, Twitter/X. You can also give me a follow. Check out my website, carlosgarciacomedy.com. Give me a follow on all social channels at Carlos Does the World. That's on Instagram. That's on Facebook. That's on Threads, TikTok, YouTube. Carlos Does World on Twitter/X. And last but not least, make sure you follow my good buddy CMO over here at chris.moore.comedy on Instagram and TikTok. And CMO Big PP69 on Grindr. And make sure you follow him on Twitter/X at CMO Comedy. Oh, yeah. So, Mr. Mo.
That music is so scary.
I know, it's so good. So, please get us out of here.
I motion to adjourn this meeting.
All right, you guys. We'll be back next week with another edition of the greatest podcast in the history of podcasts and time. It's the FratChat Podcast. I'll see ya.
Bye, bitches.